You've laughed at the chocolate factory. You've quoted the Vitamin Vagaman line. But how much do you really know about the woman behind Ethel Mertz? In this video, we're going far beyond the sitcom smiles. We're uncovering the hidden battles, the myths, and the moments of raw courage that shaped Vivian Vance's life and career. Stay with us to the very end, because what she endured and what she overcame will change the way you see classic television forever. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so more people discover the truth behind I Love Lucy. Vivian Roberta Jones was born on July 26, 1909, in Cherryvale, Kansas. She grew up the second of 6 children under strict Methodist rules and a mother who called acting sinful and shameful. While other children were encouraged to dream, Vivian was told performing would send her straight to hell every time her natural spark showed. Her mother shut it down. That tension, the war between who she was and who she was told to be, became part of her soul and would follow her for decades. When Vivian was 6, her family moved to Independence, Kansas, and that's where her fire truly lit up. She began sneaking out at night, not for mischief but for freedom. She joined school plays, beauty contests, and cheerleading, anything that let her perform. A drama teacher named Anna Engelman saw her talent and nurtured it. She even studied alongside a classmate named William Inge, who would later become a Pulitzer Prize-winning playwright. Even as her family tried to break her spirit, she began to break free. Friends called her Viv, a name that felt lighter and freer than the strict world she'd been born into. Determined to reinvent herself, she dropped Jones entirely and chose the name Vivian Vance, borrowing her new surname from folklorist Vance Randolph, who collected stories about untamed spirits. By her early 20s, she was dazzling audiences at the Albuquerque Little Theater. Locals adored her so much they renamed the building the Vivian Vance Playhouse, and even raised money to send her to New York with just $50 and a suitcase of dreams. She boarded a train and never looked back. In 1932, she landed her first Broadway break in Music in the Air. More roles followed, a last-minute replacement in Hooray for What? That became a 200-performance triumph, and the smash hit Let's Face It with Danny Kaye and Eve Arden, which ran more than 500 shows. She toured with Over 21 during World War II, performing for soldiers in Africa, and even stood in for Ethel Mertz in Cole Porter musicals. By the early 1940s, she was no longer background, she was a star. But success didn't erase the pain. At 19, Vivian married Joseph Danek Jr., hoping for escape. But the marriage lasted only 3 years. Her second husband, actor Philip Ober, was violent, leaving her with black eyes hidden under makeup. Even Lucille Ball stepped in. In 1945, touring with the voice of the Turtle, Vivian cracked up. Therapy saved her, and she later comforted others in psychiatric hospitals. Despite Broadway success, Hollywood doors stayed closed. She lost roles, waited tables, and skipped meals. In 1951, Desi Arnaz cast her as Ethel Mertz. For decades, fans repeated the story that Vivian Vance had signed a contract forcing her to gain weight so Lucille Ball would look slimmer. In truth, it was nothing more than a silly joke Lucy had made at a party, scribbling fake rules like gain 5 pounds every week and never be funnier than me. Somehow the world believed it for years. The reality was far more human. Vivian's weight simply fluctuated because she was constantly dieting. Early television could be brutal. In the iconic chocolate factory scene, the conveyor belt kept breaking and speeding up, forcing Vivian to cram candy into her mouth until she was sick. In Lucy's famous Vitamin Vagaman sketch, the tonic was real 23% alcohol, so she swallowed spoon after spoon until she was actually drunk. These legendary moments came at a painful cost. Yet in 1954, Vivian Vance still made history as the first woman to win an Emmy Award for Outstanding Supporting Actress, a category created for her. She fought for her worth, rising from $180 a week to $7,500 by the final season, and later demanding better clothes, billing, and pay on The Lucy Show. Meanwhile, fame turned frightening. Letters poured in, some threatening, and William Frawley's drinking spiraled. When CBS offered a spin-off about Fred and Ethel, he agreed instantly, but Vivian refused. No amount of money was worth working with him again. When William Frawley died of a heart attack in 1966, Vivian was at a dinner party. She raised her glass and said, "Champagne for everyone." She never went to the funeral. Their feud, which began in 1951, ended only with his death. Yet after 3 seasons of The Lucy Show, Vivian walked away. She wasn't just leaving a role. She was leaving security, fame, and the chance to reshape her image. She could no longer stand being the frumpy sidekick. Determined to prove herself, she took guest spots on the Red Skelton Hour. Millions saw her shine in sketches like The Iceman Guth, where her Clara Appleby was witty and sharp proof she had range beyond Lucy. But her long-hoped Broadway return, Woody Allen's Don't Drink the Water, ended in disaster. Fired during previews and replaced before opening, she endured a humiliating public rejection that cut deep. By the 1970s, Vivian traded ambition for stability, becoming the cheerful face of Maxwell House coffee commercials with Margaret Hamilton. Once an Emmy winner, she now smiled into the camera, simply trying to remain visible. Privately, Vivian Vance longed for children, but never could have them. After a miscarriage during her marriage to Philip Ober, every attempt failed. She poured love into Lucille Ball's children, Lucy Arnaz and Desi Arnaz Jr., and mentored young actresses. Though the pain of childlessness lingered, she also battled lifelong anxiety and depression, with reports of a second breakdown in 1970 for severe enough for electroshock therapy. In 1973, Vance was diagnosed with breast cancer. She underwent a mastectomy, chemotherapy, and additional surgeries. As it spread to her bones, few knew how serious it was. She refused pity. In 1977, she reunited with Ball for the CBS special Lucy Calls the President. Still funny despite a stroke, her last series, Sam, faded quickly. In 1979, gravely ill at home in Belvedere, she shared a final visit with Ball, filled with laughter and tears. On August 17th, Vance died at 70. But her story doesn't end there. Vivian Vance was more than Ethel Mertz. She was a Broadway star, an Emmy winner, a pioneer who fought for equal pay, and a survivor of abuse, mental illness, and illness itself. She gave the world laughter even while carrying her own sorrow. When you watch I Love Lucy today and see Ethel standing beside Lucy, remember you're seeing not just comedy but courage, a woman who refused to let tragedy silence her and who turned her struggles into unforgettable art. If Vivian Vance's journey moved you, help us share it. Like this video so more people see the real story behind the laughter. Subscribe for more untold Hollywood histories, and tell us in the comments what surprised you most about Vivian Vance's life. Thank you for watching.